Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. So today's video is actually going to be a review of the most full coverage foundation that anyone has ever used. And everybody is so hyped about this. The foundation that I'm talking about today is the Dermacol foundation. Sorry if there's a little bit of a glare. This packaging is like super shiny, but as you can see it says Dermacol along there. It's a waterproof foundation, but it also has SPF 30 in it, and I can't really say this word, but it is also, is it hypoallergenic? Something like that. This is supposed to be really full coverage. It is actually a film studio makeup cover foundation. I have actually tried this before, but it was quite a while back, and to be honest, I didn't really know my thoughts on it, so I'm actually going to give this another try, and I'm going to film my reaction for you guys, and I'm just going to be straight up and honest with you, as I always am on this channel. It provides perfect coverage even in thin layers, not only for dark circles under the eyes, but also for unpleasant spots and skin blemishes. I've got quite a lot of that just now. I've got a little spot here, I've got quite a lot of redness as well. My nose is very red, it's always red. It may also be used for the whole face in order to darken or lighten the skin, ensuring ideal balance, or for professional makeup photos or film shoots. It is in shade 211. I do also have it in shade 208, so I'm going to sort of mix and match with these two. First off, it just looks like this. Nice packaging. It's got a little bit on the top here to pierce it. I'm just going to squeeze it a little bit. Right, okay, this one looks super orange. This one is 211. I put a little bit on my hand there just to sort of do a colour test. Wow, right, that's not even a lot, and it's like super thick. That's really thick. I need to go and get a wipe. 211 looks far too dark. As you can see, it's actually coming out the tube there. So I'm just going to go in with shade 208. You do get a little leaflet in there too, by the way. It just talks more about Dermacol and the brand. So I take a little bit, like that size. That is shade 208. That definitely looks a little bit more better than 211. So all I'm going to do is I'm just going to dab my sponge and I'm just going to place that all over my skin. I'm just going to do this with it. It definitely is really thick. It is a really thick creamy consistency. Oh, I think this one's going to be a bit too light. Maybe 210 would have been better instead of 211. Shade ranges, there was about 13 different colours on Amazon, I believe. That's where I got mine from, and I think it was like $7.99, I can't quite remember, but I'll definitely link it down below in case any of you guys are interested. This foundation does actually also have a little bit of luminosity to it, and by that I mean like it's not just straight on matte, you know what I mean. A little bit definitely does go a long way with this foundation. This really isn't the right colour for me though. It's very white. I'm just going to add a touch of shade 211, just because look, I feel and I look like a ghost. Just literally a little touch, not too much at all. These two colours are definitely a little bit better mixed together. These two colours mixed together, 208 and 211, is definitely a better match than just 208. That was just far too light. I'm going to zoom you guys in so you can actually see my face. Right, so as you can see, this is how the foundation is sort of setting at the moment. It does have sort of luminous finish. It's not matte and it's not really drying. I don't feel as though I've got a whole load of foundation on for it being a really thick consistency. It actually feels pretty nice. It is giving me a really nice sort of smooth canvas. I'll just have to see how it works with some powder. I'm going to take the foundation and I'm also going to do a tattoo test. Now I am actually going to cover this tattoo, but I'm going to blend it in the way that it should be blended in. I'm not just going to layer a big daub of foundation on it and go, it covers my tattoo. I've seen a lot of reviews where people were just putting loads and loads of foundation on it and then just doing that and going, that's it covered. But that's not how you cover a tattoo. You've got to make sure that the tattoo is not going to be shown, and you need to make sure that the foundation isn't going to smear everywhere, or the powder or whatever you're putting on top of it. So what I'm just going to do just now, you can see the foundation, there's literally nothing on the top of that. There's nothing out. So I'm just going to take that little bit there, like that, and I'm going to try and cover my tattoo. So I'm just going to cover this little bird at the bottom here. You guys can see. I've just put one layer of foundation on that and it hasn't covered my tattoo. I'm going to put a little bit more on. As you can see, I'm not taking anything out the tube. I'm just taking the excess. I'm going to put a little bit more on. Now this will be my second covering. You can still see my tattoo through that. And to be quite honest, if I was to blend that out, you would still be able to see my tattoo. So that's with 208. It is a light foundation, so it hasn't actually covered it at all. You can still see the tattoo through that. And that's with 2 layers of foundation. I'm now going to take that off. I'm now going to clean that, and I'm going to do the 211, which is a lot darker. And I'm going to try and cover it with that. I'm going to take shade 211, which is darker, as you guys can see. Now there's a little bit out there. I'm only taking the top bit, so it's like that, because it is a really thick foundation, so you really don't need a lot. Go do it again. This is 211, which is the darker shade. That's one layer of the darker shade. Yes, I'm not going in with crazy thick amounts, because if it's that full coverage, should you have to go in with a really thick, crazy amount of foundation? That is one even coverage with a darker shade, and it still hasn't covered my tattoo. I'm now just going to take the whole top bit off of that. I'm just going to take it all. So I'm taking a little bit more now, as you guys can see, a little bit more product, and I'm going to do it again. Now, this is definitely going on a hell of a lot thicker, so that you can't, so now you really can't see the tattoo, but it's not blended out. So if I was to really go ahead and blend that out, like it should be blended out, like that, you can still see my tattoo, and that's that blended out. And I did put a little bit more on that time, so I didn't just go in with a little amount, I went in with a decent size amount. And with it blended out the way it should be blended out, you can still see that tattoo. Yes, I can put powders over this and everything, but it probably still wouldn't cover that. So there's people on the internet with sleeves of tattoos, really thick colourful tattoos, not just black tattoos like that is, and they are saying that it definitely covers. It doesn't. Well, not this one, not mine. Mine don't. I'm just going to rub that off now. That little test just to show you guys, because there is a lot of garbage on the internet, and people will be like, wow, it's the most full coverage foundation, it even covers sleeves, tattoos and everything else. And I just wanted to prove to you guys that it isn't actually all that good for tattoos unless you have a really, 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 really thick, good amount on. If you have a crazy amount of that foundation on that, yes, it probably would cover, but you would have to have a lot of foundation on that, which would probably, throughout the day, be smearing and going all over your clothes. So I just wanted to show you guys that, because I feel like a lot of people make out that it covers absolutely anything, and quite honestly, and as you guys seen there, it doesn't actually fully cover everything. It doesn't actually fully cover tattoos. You would have to have a really, really good layer of that on to cover that, and several powders on top of that to cover that. So it's quite a big amount you need, so it's quite a lot you would have to do just to get that to cover that. So yeah, this is the foundation on my face at the moment. I do actually really like it. It is a good coverage. I would say it is medium to full coverage, definitely. It's covered my spot here. I think you guys can still see though, my freckle's still poking through a little bit here. The amount I use there is the same amount I would use any other time I'm doing my foundation. But the thing about this foundation though is the little tube, it does sort of seep out a little bit when you leave it or when you've pressed the bottom of it. So that's a bad thing about it, because it's a waste of product that you're having to wipe away all the time before you put your lid on it. Not listen to people who are saying this is going to cover tattoos and with one tiny little swipe, because no, it's not. You're going to have to use a fair bit of this to cover a tattoo, and you're going to have to pack that on and really make sure you've got a good thick layer on that, as you guys seen in my little experiment there with my tattoo. If you're putting it on normally, the way you would put on normal foundation, then no, it's not going to cover. But if you're putting on a lot and you are putting on a thick amount, then yeah, it probably will cover. But you're going to have to put on a really, really thick layer of this foundation and probably loads of powder on top of that, which is going to smear everywhere. So in case you have seen that all over Facebook, because I definitely have, and I've just wanted to comment all over it saying, do not listen to these people that are saying it's covered their full sleeve and everything else. No, just no. Just when I was doing that little experiment there, I was giving it 5 minutes to sort of settle into my face, see what it was doing. Still does have a little bit of luminosity there, which is good. If you do have oily skin, then it's maybe not going to be the best for you. But I have sort of combination skin. Sometimes it can be dry, sometimes it can be oily. Today I'm just out of shower, so I've got a pretty clean skin today. It does feel really, really light on my face. It's not like smudging. It doesn't feel thick at all. I don't feel like I'm creasing in it like my smile lines or anything. Yeah, so far so good. I do like this foundation. I'd probably give it maybe 3.5 out of 5, maybe 4, maybe, I don't know. What I'm going to do now is I'm just going to do the rest of my makeup the way I would normally do it, a wee bit of powder, probably do like a simple eye look because I'm not going for anything too crazy today, and I will come back to you guys once I've set all this and done all my usual stuff, and I'll tell you guys what I think of it then. Hi guys, so I am back. I've just went and done my full face of makeup. I've just went for an all over eye colour of some brown, and normally I don't do that. Normally I go from light to dark, but I've actually went for just a plain brown smoky eye today, and I've sort of smoked out my bottom lash line. On my lips is Makeup Revolution shade Matte Chauffeur, and it's an absolutely beautiful, lovely, beautiful fall colour. So this is what the foundation looks with all of my makeup on. I haven't really written too harsh with any contour. I just like bronzed up my face a little bit and put a little bit of blush on, and so far I'm really, really liking it. It hasn't made my face feel cakey or look cakey. When I was putting powder and stuff on, that went on really, really nicely as well. And I'm basically just going to see how it wears throughout the day. I do really like it, but do I think it's a bit overhyped? Yes. Do I think people are adding their own exaggerated opinions? Yes. And that's just because people are going to do that, so people buy it. But so far it's so good. I do really like this. It is really affordable, and if you are looking for a full coverage foundation that is going to help out your skin, if you maybe have bad skin or you're just not 100% confident and you really do like a full coverage foundation, then this foundation is great and you probably will love it. As I did say earlier, if you do have oily skin, then this maybe isn't going to be the best for you, just because it does give a little bit of a luminous glow to the skin. I actually don't have any highlighter on, and I have set this, and I still kind of look a little bit shiny, which to be honest I don't mind. I'm actually quite okay with that, but some people might not like that, so there is that fact as well. Did it get worse throughout the day, or did it get better throughout the day? I will come back and I'll let you guys know. So what I'm just going to do now is I'm just going to go about and I'm going to go on with my day, probably film a few other videos because I've got a hell of a lot of videos to do because I'm like catching up right now and it's crazy. But yeah. Also want to say a big thank you to everybody who has subscribed to my channel, because we have now finally hit 1k and I'm so excited. So thank you guys so much for that. There will be a little giveaway coming. I have just ordered a few bits and bobs for you guys. It's not anything major or like crazy big. I'm not like giving away an iPad or anything like that. So sorry if you're going to be a little bit disappointed in that, but yeah, it is a little bit of a giveaway, just to say thank you to you guys for all the love and support. Yeah, I really do appreciate it. So thank you guys so much for that. For all my planner related people out there, I do have a few little planner and Etsy hauls and stuff coming up as well, so definitely stay tuned for that. But this is today's video review. I do really like this foundation, and I will let you guys know at the end of this video how it wore throughout the day. If you are looking to purchase this foundation or try it out for yourself, hit up Amazon because they have it. I will leave a little link down below for you guys. I'm going to stop rambling now because I'm getting lipstick all over my teeth. I'm going to go about my day. So it is now 18:49. I can see that. I had this on since about 12. So this is how the makeup looks now. The only thing I have done is I've reapplied my lipstick. That is about it, just for this video. The rest I have not touched. I had a spare 5 minutes, I just came straight back in here and I wanted to do this little update just to see, got hair on me, if anything had changed. Now, my thoughts now that it has been a good few hours later is still looking pretty good. I think it's still looking pretty good. My face is oiled up a little bit. My face tends to do that anyway, along the cheeks, the head, the nose, things like that. It's broke up a little bit around my nose. I can kind of see it going all patchy, but if I'm going to be honest, every foundation I use does that. So I think I'm going to have to experiment with some like new primer. Other than that, I feel like the makeup has stayed on pretty well. With the powders and stuff on top of it, I think it's held up pretty decent. And this is how the makeup looks just now. Just come a bit closer in case you really want to see. I didn't do any sort of harsh contouring, I just bronzed my face up a little bit. But you can see it's still pretty dewy. When I touch my face, it is slightly coming off a little bit, just because my skin is oiling up a little bit. But overall, yeah, it is a really good foundation. As you've probably seen earlier, I did also do the little tattoo test as well, and I really just wanted to do that to see if all this hype was anything. Was it worth it? Does it really cover tattoos to the extent that some people were making out? No, it doesn't, but it will cover tattoos if you use a good amount, and if you're planning on packing lots of product on top of your tattoo, which I highly doubt anybody would really do because it would probably smear all over their clothes. That is just my honest opinion on this foundation. I do really like it. It is really full coverage. It is a good foundation, but it does oil up a little bit and it is still sort of breaking up on my nose area a little bit. Every foundation does that with me, so that was nothing new for me. I feel as though it's held up pretty well. I'm quite impressed with that. My makeup still looks pretty good, to be quite honest. It doesn't look all patchy at all. Just wanted to do this little check-in just to show you guys what my makeup was looking like after, what time are we on? Nearly 7 o'clock, so about 7 hours. That's what it looks like. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video and I'll see you guys in my next one.